What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. Alright, so we're going to start this one off with an update from a competitor that we actually haven't spoken about in quite some time. Robert Timms has made his return to social media. He actually took a bit of a break there for actually a couple of months. But we are seeing him resurface now, and we are seeing really just that insane physique that we've always seen from Robert Timms. This is a guy that can maintain an insane level of conditioning pretty much year-round. I really don't know how he does it. You know, he really does at any given time look like he could walk on stage within, what, a few weeks here, even less as a potential? But since he has returned to social media, he said that he actually is in prep now, so he is preparing for something. We don't know exactly what he's preparing for because he's the kind of guy that says he's going into prep but doesn't necessarily say which show it is that he's going to do coming up. And like I said, when you look like this and it looks like you could step on stage at any given time, who knows with this guy? Now the question is Robert Timms going to come back improved in the 2024 season? Because we did see him take second place at the Texas Pro here in 2023, where he did have a very impressive physique on stage. The conditioning was absolutely insane. His look from Instagram really did translate over to the stage. The cuts in the quads, the deep separation in the abs, the back detail, the biceps are actually something that are very impressive just from a genetic standpoint. But the legs were one thing that Robert Timms did need to bring up, and I do think that he's brought them up as compared to previous seasons. But I would still like to see a little bit more size in the legs for him to really hang with some of the top names in the sport and make it to that Olympia stage. But this is a guy that has a ton of potential in the classic physique division, and now that he's returned, we'll see what show he chooses to do and how he stacks up in 2024. Alright, next up, we have an update here from Kerrith Bajjo. Now, Kerrith is only 5 weeks out from the New York Pro, where he will be going back to defend his New York Pro title. And you guys, this is just an insane level of muscle maturity that we're seeing here from Kerrith. I actually think that he's improved, if it was even possible, from a muscle maturity standpoint. There is not many competitors that you will find in any division that looks as rock-hard granite as Kerrith Bajjo. Now, you stack on top of that the overall proportions and the fact that he can actually still move up a bit in weight in the 212 division. You guys, this is going to be a very dangerous competitor, not just at the New York Pro, but at the Olympia, because I do expect that he'll be even better when it comes to that Olympia stage. Of course, he does still need to qualify, but I am very confident that we will see him defend his title at the New York Pro. Kerrith has actually been working with Neil Hill over the last year, and it looks like they really found a formula that works for Kerrith. As of right now, he is completely locked into his prep. He is ready to come back to that New York Pro, and he is looking to be improved from the look that he had last year. Now, don't be surprised if you do see Kerrith end up moving up into the Open to see how he stacks up there someday, but for now, Kerrith told me himself, when it comes to the 212 division, he's still got some work to do. Alright, next up, we have an update here from Mutant Fitzwater. Now, Mutant is only a couple of days out from his return to the stage, where he will attempt to earn his Olympia qualification at the Detroit Pro. He posted a video here of him posing at about a week out of the show, and you know, Mutant really does have fantastic shape. That midsection is definitely in check. He's got insanely round quads, you guys. Just look at the quads. Absolutely insane. He could use a little bit more chest is the only thing that I can really see from Mutant right now. Maybe a little bit more back detail, but it's definitely possible that we can see more of that detail in the back come show day. Now, I've seen some split opinions out there as to whether or not people think that Mutant will actually win this show. His biggest competition at this show being Good Vito and Justin Rodriguez, essentially, because there is only 6 competitors in this Detroit Pro lineup. And the one thing that Mutant will need to bring to the stage is absolutely lights out conditioning, because from the looks of it, Justin Rodriguez is coming conditioned, and we know that Good Vito is going to be bringing the conditioning based on what we saw at that Arnold Classic Brazil. Now, it could just be the lighting in this video, but I really think that the detail is not necessarily coming out in Mutan's physique as of yet. I'd like to see more detail in the quads at this point. I'd like to see more separation in the arms from the front especially, but again, you guys, it could just be the lighting. The only other thing is Mutant is, honestly, white as a ghost in this video. It doesn't look like he's done any amount of tanning whatsoever. And that can actually be a mistake for competitors going into a show. Typically, you want to have a base tan for when you actually go to get your pro tan on. It just gives you a better overall color on stage. And we just saw that with Good Vito actually at the Brazil. Good Vito's color really was not very good, especially in comparison to Rafael Brandao. So I really hope that we don't see the same thing here out of Martin Fitzwater at this show. But when you really do look closely at that posing video, you know, the glute striations are in. So I really think at this point, we're just gonna have to wait until show day to see just what Martin does bring to the stage. There is nothing necessarily definitive here that tells me that he will be the undisputed winner this far out. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Martin Fitzwater will earn his Olympia qualification? Or do you think he'll be defeated by the likes of either Justin Rodriguez or Good Vito? I did have Good Vito defeating Martin Fitzwater in my predictions, but the fact of the matter is, Martin may very well prove me wrong. Alright, last up, we have an update here from Quint Beastwood. Now, Quint Beastwood is another competitor that's about 5 weeks out of the New York Pro right now, and he has made an absolutely insane transformation, not just in the last year or so, but really in the last few weeks. It looks like he's dialed in very quickly here. Now, a lot of you guys might remember he was getting a pretty hard time for the physique that he showed up with when he did a guest posing with Nick Walker in Vegas there a couple of months ago, but there can be absolutely no doubt at this point. Quint Beastwood is showing up here in New York, and he is showing up ready to do battle. That year-long off-season has definitely paid off. As a taller competitor, you know, he really needed to fill out that massive frame to really compete with the best of the best in the sport, and that's exactly why he took that year off, in order to accomplish that. And it looks like we will see a true test of just how much size Quint Beastwood has gained when he stands next to Nick Walker. From the transformation shot that he threw up here comparing his 2022 look to his 2024 look, both of which were taken around the 5-week out mark during prep, the improvements here from a muscle mass standpoint are just absolutely insane. He's gained a lot more thickness to the arms, more overall size and sweep to the quads, so this is going to be very exciting to witness this battle between Quint Beastwood and Nick Walker. Now, I don't think he's going to outsize Nick, but I do think he's going to be able to hang from a muscle mass standpoint. You know, he may have the illusion of being a larger presence on stage due to his overall height, but muscle mass aside, it's really going to come down to conditioning. It's going to come down to really how hard him and Matt Jansen can really nail that peak, because you know that Nick Walker is showing up with razor sharp conditioning. And don't forget here as well, both Nick and Quint Beastwood are coached by Matt Jansen. So the New York Pro is not looking to disappoint again this year, and it won't be long and we'll see the improvements on full display on that New York Pro stage. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.